From the mind of El Rico Studios. It's the top 1%. Four friends from Escambia High School in Pensacola, Florida, give their takes on family, relationships, sports, entertainment, and business. Your host, CEO, director, writer, producer, El Rico Tunstall, along with business and marketing expert Alex Ennis. We got rap artist and actor Crook, aka Austin B, as well as cool, never the fool, Mr. Pay the Man himself, that boy there, LG. It's the top 1%.
Welcome back to another top 1%. We back here. We got CT over there. We got my boy Crook right here. And we got El Rico over there. Y'all feel me? Hey, we up in the building though. I got a good question for y'all today. And it is, what's the definition, females and males, of being a simp? And pretty much, would you deal with it? Would you go through it? Or would you do it? Let's see what happens. Let's see. Who wants? CT, you want to start it off?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So, you know what? There was a time that courting somebody. There's a difference between courting somebody and following somebody around. Okay, and I think that simping to me is when you are just so entranced by that person that you are just following them around and just going along with every single thing that they do, and you're almost overcompensating to a degree. And again, courting somebody, flowers, candy, that's courtship. That you're talking. But then when you are just rolling over, hey, I'm gonna go on a date with this one guy. I know we're talking though, but it's okay. I'm gonna wait for you. You're a simp. If you're doing that, you are a simp. Okay. Sending a girl flowers at her job, you're courting. Okay, that's courtship. Things that are making her feel good is courting. But when you're almost degrading yourself, you're simping. And so you gotta have that basic understanding between courting somebody and simping. If you are simping, that means that you're degrading yourself.
Right.
So that's my take on that.
Easily explained, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I say that. Yeah. That's what I think too. If you're doing something for somebody and you're degrading yourself, you're putting yourself down, you don't think about yourself when the other person is making decisions, you don't stand up for yourself, all of that to me is sinful. So, for example, like if I like a girl, and like you were saying, Alex, about courting, if I like a girl, but I know she does not like me, but I ain't buying her stuff left and right. She's already told me once or two different occasions that it just ain't gonna work. You're not my type. But I continue to go, hey, you know what? I'm gonna buy you this iPhone. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna buy you this purse. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna buy you this. You know what I'm saying? That's another example of a simp. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, it's not okay. It's not okay, fellas. It's not okay. It's not okay, ladies. It's not okay.
Yeah.
Being a simp means we really don't have a backbone. So that's what I want to say about that.
And then let me say it in another way, because sometimes backbone is just that they pretty much call cake daddy. That's the same thing.
Cake daddy.
You know what I'm saying? Sugar daddy, whatever. That's the same thing as a simp. It's just that they know that they getting
a sugar daddy that's not getting any sugar.
Yeah.
They could be getting all the sugar they want, but that's salt, really. But
sugar daddies win, cake daddies lose.
Yeah.
Sugar daddies actually win, cake daddies lose.
They win,
Yes.
but they ain't gonna be able to keep it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We got other shows talking about how real females act and then how real men act too. But yeah, the simping thing that don't work for nobody. I tell you, if you messing with somebody who's simping for you, you pimping yourself. And then if you're the one simp as in simple, you just too simple, then you know what I'm saying, you too simple for a female, and then that's not gonna work either. Because the next person gonna put it. So pretty much you need to just start over, reset, unplug the plug, whatever you gotta do, just start over. What you got to say there, man? What y'all got to say? Nothing about
Oh, me? Oh, my turn. All right. Well, I'm glad the subject came up because, like I said, I'm an older guy, so I didn't know the meaning of simp until I had to look it up when these topics came up. I was like, oh, okay, so that's what simping mean. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna expose my age, but anyway, it takes us back to the time at Bellevue Middle School, right? Bellevue Middle School, there was a particular female. Her name was Jennifer Zedlicki. Okay, Jennifer Zedlicki to me was the belle of the ball. She was the top dog. She was everything that you could think, right? That a girl in 7th and 8th grade could possibly be. All right.
Don't forget Dana. Don't forget Dana.
Yeah, Dana. Shout out to Dana too. But anyway, late Gina. We talking about my past, baby.
it's 1%.
Long time. But
Hey, Michelle.
listen
Okay.
to me now.
All right.
Jennifer was kind of new to school. Her and Dana came along at a certain time, and I just remember I was just head over, just like, man, but every dude was like all on her, right? And I remember Valentine's came up, and they had it where you could buy the flowers, and you could send it to them at lunch, and then everybody would be sitting there looking like, when the flowers got delivered, and the girl would be like, oh yeah, So I said, I'm gonna do something special. I'm gonna send Henry Strong. Shout out to him. It was just at Atmore. He came to the actual premiere in Atmore. Henry Strong. So if you listen to this, buddy, thank you for showing up in Atmore. But Henry could sing. And I said, Henry, man, go over real quick, man, and take the flower and sing a little note or whatever. And she's gonna look over, and then we're gonna be in love forever. We're gonna ride off in a chariot. So he goes over there, he drops the flower off, and he sings a little note, and she smiles and she looks back at me, and I'm like, yeah, I won, I got it, man. And of course she doesn't come over to me. So the 8th grade dance is coming up. Another inside note, I've never been to any prom. From middle school to high school, never went to prom, but I thought Jennifer Zedlicki I was gonna be able to ask her to dance or whatever. So anyway, comes along end of the day, and I get the nerve up because I just sent her the flowers, and I think I won because she smiled and looked at me, and I go up to her and I'm like, hello, Jennifer, how you doing? And she was like, and she looked at me, and Zach Marshall walks up, puts his arm around her, and says, what are you doing over here? And so I was laughing at me, and I just remember turning around, walking off. And just the legend of the nerdy kid from Escambia began from that point, because I was just like, man, it's just for a simp. Like that. Because I look it up, I'm like, was that me? Yeah. But yeah, Jennifer Zedlicki actually started me on the course of being turned down by multiple women, which led to me becoming a nerdy kid from Escambia. But yeah, shout out to Jennifer if she's listening.
That sounds more like courtship to me. I because you weren't like following. Once you got the rejection, you moved on. So I mean,
Jennifer Zedlicki was a hard one to move over on, man. I mean,
I know. Yeah, I was team. Look, man, I was team Dana. Like Dana reminded me of Tisha Campbell.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. She did a young Tisha Campbell. I give you that.
Yeah. So because I had a big crush on Tisha Campbell. So I was more team Dana than Jennifer. Not Jennifer. You was bad. You was bad. I'm just saying, you was bad. But I'm just saying. But I was more team Dana personally. So
I've seen her right, like literally, like maybe like 4 years ago.
Okay.
In the Wahoo Stadium, and I remember just walking by. Now she has kids and she's older. And I just walked by and I seen it. I'm just like, I won.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
But we're not bitter. Golly. Tell her how you really feel.
My life turned out great too. So hey, I appreciate the learning lesson of being rejected. So yeah.
Goodness.
We had to have a happy ending to the story. I just couldn't let it end like that.
Okay.
Well, the story's still being told too.
Yes. Yes.
All over the book. So you know what I mean. So that brings us to the next topic of this discussion is the entertainment business still a good business to get into? And with that being said, let's go to LG. We're gonna get G on this one. Right
Okay, how about this? When I entertain, it is something. Y'all better watch when I entertain. Hey, that's all I got to say, really.
Okay.
Okay.
That.
Okay.
Business and marketing expert.
Man, so let's talk business. So man, here's the thing. It really depends. It depends on your niche. It really does depend on what niche you're going into. Are you going into a niche that you have that's really already populated? Okay. When myself and E came, were up and coming promoters coming up, we was looking at booking artists. Booking all types of big national artists. The thing with that is that you have to understand, if you're gonna book for a concert, okay, that's gonna draw people. You're not gonna get an artist that's you got to get somebody that's at least 50,000. You're not counting riders. You're not counting their all the production costs, all these other things. So if we're talking music, you have got to get somebody that's gonna draw people at the lowest booking price and have a budget and work with it. And even that is a hit or miss. So from that aspect of promoting is really, really tough. I think if you're the promoter, but you're not actually spending the money on booking, you're simply promoting and not actually doing the booking and doing the production, then you can make a profit on that. But it is really difficult to make a profit if you're not just the promoter but also the booker. So now on different aspects of entertainment, whether it's film, whether it's music, whether it's acting, it just really, really depends. But at the end of the day, money is one aspect of doing what you love, of doing it, but also having that passion for it. And the thing is that you want to make a living, but you also want to do something that you're gonna have a passion for. Because if you have a passion for something, it never feels like work.
Right, you're gonna do it regardless.
Exactly, it never feels like work. So there are gonna be times that you're gonna have good days. Your pockets are gonna be nice. But other days that we finna be in Denny's. Okay, so. I'm gonna get that grand slam, but I'm gonna get the bacon from you, and you can have the eggs. We're gonna split it.
Alex, I thought you were gonna say pancakes and water.
Yeah, me and he have that. We've had plenty of them days.
Yeah, well, I have enough for a full course.
We've had the IHOP days.
Yeah,
we've had the Whataburger days. We've had the TGI Friday days. The TGI Friday days are good days.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a secondary question before we bring it to Mr. Czar over here, because y'all been building this company, right? 12 years. Mm-hmm. So the first years y'all came to Pensacola, y'all were working with gospel artists, gospel rappers, rap artists, singers, correct? Mm-hmm. Now, would you say
genres?
Is it a little more difficult? I'm gonna throw this to Rico when it's his turn too. But for you right now, is it a little bit more difficult to work with artists and singers and gospel rap artists than it is to plan for events for the films and stuff?
So quite frankly, it depends on the artist. It depends on the entertainer. And I'm not gonna stand here and mention names because you have certain artists who are divas, and it can be male or female. That you did the negotiations, you agreed on the price, they set foot here.
Babe.
They no comment. They want something else.
I thought you were talking about. Oh, my bad.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
I was like, yeah, you set on a price and then
but the point is, those times are aggravating, and he's had to look at me and say, Alex, don't say nothing. I know you want to say something. Don't say it. And there's been times, that I've had to hold E because a business partner got out of line. So I had to tell E, walk away, go somewhere, chill, let me take care of it. You know what I'm saying?
Are there more of those times with the filmmaking and event planning for the films?
So not for the film. I'm talking about specifically music. I'm talking about specifically music. That a particular artist or a particular person that we did business with, things kind of went left, and either I blow a horn or E blew a horn, and we had to talk to each other. Say, okay, bro, walk that way. Let me deal with it. Bro, you walk that way. I'll deal. You deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And so we've had those conversations that we've had to do that before. But just in general, it can be, but it just really depends, honestly.
Okay, Czar. Well, the question was: is the entertainment business still a good business to get into?
Entertainment business. So I think the entertainment business right now is so oversaturated. It's an overall as a whole, because it's due to social media. Everybody is an actor. Everybody is a rapper. Everybody can sing. I really feel like everybody on this podcast, because I know all of you three of my best friends in the world. I believe that if we knew everything we know now and was to take it back to the 90s when it was no internet, I really feel like we would be sitting here like kingpins.
Yeah.
It's just now that you've got so many 13-year-olds that's rapping, and so many people that consider themselves filmmakers and all types of stuff.
Saturated.
Yeah. You got to really find and carve out your own little corner to say, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is, the avenue that I'm on, the street that I'm on, because everybody right now is on the highway.
Right.
And that highway is crowded. It's crowded, man. So, I would tell anybody, if you want to get into this business, you got to have, like Alex said, the passion for it. You got to have a love for it.
Right.
There is no way that I can take and I can go 2 days, for me personally, without thinking about this business.
Yeah.
I don't have downtime. Even when I'm with my family, which is crazy, and I'm so sorry for it. My mind is always working, thinking about the next move. But I'm good enough where I can compartmentalize, and I can still have it going in the back of my head and still be forward, thinking about what's going on in front of me. You have to be obsessed. You have to be really all in on this thing. You cannot be a half entertainer, because you're not gonna get no full result.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no such thing as halfway crook.
Yeah, ain't no such thing.
I get myself caught up sometimes when I'm going into an entertainment venue, watching something, and I'm thinking, okay, that was booking fee. Okay, that.
Yeah, I've been there.
And so I'm thinking, okay, everything happens in my head is numbers. I'm like, okay, and there, okay, this got sold out, or okay, there's only a half stage. Heck, when I'm watching a wrestling event, like
Mhm.
I'm talking about a house show,
Mhm.
I'm doing that too.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is that it's not necessarily that I'm saying, okay, I'm going to book a wrestling event or I'm going to book a comedy show, but it's more like you get obsessed because you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
So you're thinking about what you're going to do, but you're also thinking about what other people are doing within that same niche.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And everything, bro. When it comes like to marketing, anything, like I see it. Like if I see like, okay, there's a certain type of color shirt that I know is gonna pop. I'm gonna sit there and while everybody else is thinking about something else and I'm putting something else out, in my mind, I'm designing a new shirt that's coming. I'm already working on a new design. Same way with like, okay, everybody's looking at, oh, he's got this project coming out. Yeah, you see that, but I'm already over here thinking about, okay, what's the next 2 movies behind that? What's the next 2 things behind it? Like you gotta constantly be working it, like just always because there's so many people trying to do the same things that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So if you're not all the way in, man, and you're not all the way in the pool swimming, don't put your toe in there.
Hey, I like to say, hey, you gotta have the passion. You gotta have the pursuit.
Yeah.
And that can lead to prosperity. But then that can lead to poor decisions. Because you have to be right when you do things, when you're trying to be in entertainment, pretty much because you're putting yourself in a situation where you're public. You know, that's another piece. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be public. So you have to have the right ambition, the right everything for that. Otherwise, really what you're trying to do is have it as a hobby on the side. Or just something to say you do.
Yeah.
Because if you don't put yourself towards something, you're not going to get there. But if you pause for 1 second, you might lose out on more than what you gained in, you know, at any time. It's something that you just got to be consistent about. That's entertainment. That means you have to be entertaining and you got to be consistent with it.
And you can't be afraid to fail.
And you
can't be afraid to fail.
You can't be afraid to fail. You can't fall down. You can't cry about it. You just gotta get up, do it again.
Yeah.
That's
but you learn from it.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that the 17, 16-year-olds, these two right here, 2 amazing artists, as far as rappers, different languages, and one of the best freestylers that I've ever heard. Okay. But there's no way that the 16-year-old you match the age that you are now, because you'll blow that 16-year-old out.
Yeah.
So you have to learn over the years to keep getting better, perfecting. Okay, what's my cadence? Okay, how do I, ride on the beat? Y'all know,
coming up with better chorus.
Yeah.
Better.
And what the L word is called? Listen.
Listen. Yeah.
You gotta be able to take criticism. You gotta be able to take all that. If you want to shoot somebody like the little YNs now, you want to shoot somebody, that ain't gonna work. That what's that gonna do for you or your people?
Yeah,
that's not gonna do nothing. What you gotta do is you gotta dedicate yourself and then have people behind you. When you have somebody behind you because they know that you're dedicated to do something, things usually work.
That's right.
Absolutely.
If you want to be a pro, pros have patience. So I threw in some more P's for y'all.
Yeah,
and
great topic, guys.
Yeah, to kind of go back, not to get too far before I can answer this question is now, Rico, going back to what I asked CT, going back to the original Jump Off GLR days. Was it more difficult dealing with the music world, music entertainment world than it is dealing with, I guess, the film world? Now that you and Alex know what y'all know,
I would say probably, man, 100% yes. Like, to me, man, like, and this is no knock. I love gospel music. I love gospel artists. But man, when I tell you, like, some of the ones that we encountered back in the day, he alluded to a little bit on writers and being able to, like, cater and pamper.
Yeah.
Like, for and this is just I throw out there for a rapper, you get them a bottle and a couple of sticks and whatever to smoke, and they good. They good.
Just tell us what we need to be on.
Yeah, tell them they be on, get the bottle back there, something smoke on, they straight. But gospel artists, I said I wanted 6 strawberries, 8 pineapples.
No.
Water. I wanted Fiji water.
No, look. Let me put it to you like this now. Okay, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Oh man. So the only time things got on my nerves is when you agree to something.
Mhm.
You agree to something. We
Yeah.
talked about it. We sat down together.
Mhm.
Okay. I spoke slowly so that everything was understood
Yeah.
And it's on paper. It's on
Yeah.
paper.
on paper.
Yeah, it's on paper.
Yeah.
And yet somehow, after it's been signed, after everything's done, man, I don't like that. I'm like,
Right. It doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right. Like we
and
talking.
and then try to make it seem like you're some sort of underhanded person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
Right.
see what I'm saying? I've always, and this is something I always say: call me anything you want, but as far as when I'm talking in business, I'm direct with you.
Mhm.
Okay, this is how it's gonna be. This is, and we can negotiate. But once the negotiation's over and you agreed on something, you agreed on it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Stick to
Okay,
it.
yeah, and that's what, and for some reason, gospel.
Yeah. But yeah, to answer your question though, man. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 100%. The gospel marketing
Woo.
music was it taught us so much. That's the part G was just talking about failure.
Mm.
He failed so much in gospel, but yet everybody's like, when you doing nothing? When you gonna do nothing? When you gonna do nothing? And we're just out here just pouring money down the toilet.
Yeah.
Trying
Like you said, pancakes and water.
yeah.
That's where faith comes in.
I was like, okay, y'all mother,
Right.
so you don't want to cuss because you're doing a gospel show, okay?
Yeah.
But then
I
when
know it.
when things don't, it irks me, and yeah, just something about and again, I love a lot of these gospel artists that we've been blessed to book, but there's times that things have not worked out in the negotiations, and there's a lot of backtracking that was noticed in gospel, that whether it was a hip-hop artist or an R&B artist, you don't go through that. You really didn't. It's straightforward.
Yeah, I've
It's
heard. We've had several conversations in the last handful of years too, and I'm just like, when y'all bring up I'm sorry, bringing up the events and how y'all packed out and great job is like awesome. Like, I mean, y'all did it. Y'all did it. What was this? That's why y'all hear me asking a lot of questions about the year. It's like, hey, where was I at this time? What was I doing? In relation to y'all packing out. You know what I'm saying? The area mobile. Was it the Mitchell Center? Yeah,
Mitchell Center, USA
USA.
Stadium, USA basketball stadium. Yep.
I've been to the Sanger Theater since we were little, taking field trips. You know what I'm saying? So when I learned that y'all had a gospel event there, and people dressed up like, wow, it's kind of. But then when we talk about film and stuff, I don't hear all the other frustration. Not only have y'all learned to be better business people and event planners, fashion, everything that goes into what y'all doing, but it's just like, when y'all talk about certain film events and it doesn't go your way, let's say like your walk up, it's not as frustrating. Like whoever did that to CT got somebody in mind and he can't say their name, and he's got a picture in their face like, man, we agreed on something.
But I look at it more like, okay, we talk about the gospel and the music portion of it. Yeah, that's the business side that I was alluding to. But I would say on the film side, like the people are like, so it is a lot of backstabbing, like evil people when it comes to film.
Because it got to be frustrating for both.
Yeah,
both,
like
it's an entertainment business.
Yeah,
so,
for me, like that's the worst thing, man. Like, and I've said this in other interviews, like, man, you pour so much into somebody and build them up, and then next thing you know, they got a knife like cutting your throat.
Yeah.
Or trying to hijack your characters that you created.
Yeah. So
that'll be another topic for another episode too. The difficulties of being an entertainer, but
that's why I say, hey, for $5.99, I will cuss somebody out for you. I mean, hey, $5.99. I need
I,
$1.99.
Look, I say this, that I was really close to catching the charge, and when we'll talk about it in maybe.
So right. It's funny because as far as my answer to this question, yes, entertainment is still a good business to get into.
Yes.
But you have to handle your business. As the saying goes,
Yes.
90% business, 10% talent.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in here, for example, this is gonna be funny right here. Before we move on to the next question, is I've been a rap artist since 16. He's been a rap artist around the same time as a teenager. But this guy over here has probably the best hit song right now, Going Over Southern Village. So it ended up on What the Heart Wants soundtrack. And a lot of people, I said not a lot of people, but some people don't even know it's him rapping. Yeah. They just know the words and know how excited they are. And they know Jay Sapp. They know Jay Sapp, shout out to Jay Sapp, Mad Stacks. But they know Jay Sapp was on the song. But the name of the song is the Manager of the Year remix, MOT Pop. So it's all him, so it's him and Jay Sapp. But it's really, introduction, to him and what he is, as the hashtag Rico era. Yeah. But it's funny how music works like that too. It's like I've been working all my life. People repeat my music, and then he's got it, but it's still within the family. So it's no hate. He was part of the Forever Ballin' / committee back in the day.
Forever Ballin'.
With that being said, it's like we all eventually ended up into the entertainment business. So now we're like educated enough, and we're experienced enough where we can answer these questions compared to when we was teenagers, which is kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like, wow, I get it. I know how to be patient. I know how to work with people. I know how to take my time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all actually are more of the the nuts and bolts mechanics of everything going around. But for us, the rest of us, all we have to do is fit in a position and play our position. Y'all handle the business. All we have to do is look good.
Yeah. Remember your lines.
And remember the lines.
Yeah.
Remember not to say, tell the movie when we're doing interviews.
Yeah.
But going to the next question, speaking of teenagers, this is going to be kind of a fun question too, is will LeBron James Jr. become a good pro?
No. I'm done.
Let's go to you, Rico.
I'm hopeful for the future for that young man.
Hopeful
for the future for him.
And CT, you want to go next?
Yeah. Man, so do I think that he's gonna have his dad's career? Heck no. I from what I've seen, now he's in the G League. I've seen some flashes of of somebody who could be a solid pro. And what I mean by that is maybe a 6th to 8th man in a roster. And I think he's going to be good enough to have a career in the league. I think that he's going to be good enough to have a career on his own, but and maybe even contribute in some way. But do I think that he's going to have even half of his father's career, or even a quarter of his father's career? Absolutely not.
Let me explain what he just said. Pretty much he said he gonna sell some jerseys. That's what he just said.
I am hopeful he is
gonna sell the message.
Hope for the future for him, man, and I hope everything works out.
Okay.
Really pushing for him, really cheering him on.
I think he'll be a good pro.
No, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to be a Hall of Famer to be a good pro. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm saying have multiple contracts. I think he'll be
right.
He'll be one of those people that have more than 2 contracts. Your rookie contract and your second contract after that.
And your third team and your
3 to 6 years, 4 to 5 years.
Exactly.
I think he's going to play a little bit more than that because, there's 2 things I think about that too. One, his dad's going to have to retire at some point. So he's not going to have his father's shadow to kind of play in right now. Like, it's one thing for your father, like Steph Curry, and then your Dale Curry played for an amount of years, and you got to come up through that shadow. It's kind of a different comparison. You know what I'm saying? Because Steph has actually had a better player than his dad. But this is the opposite. This is your dad is actually a Hall of Fame guy, and you're coming along. And everybody who, you know, I've seen Scottie Pippen Jr., Gary Payton Jr., everybody whose dad is kind of like a Hall of Fame dad, they end up kind of doing the route that Bronny's on now. G League, overseas, bounce around, and then finally stick to a team where they become a 3-and-D person or offensive threat or something to that effect where, you know, they're in the league. So I do think Bronny will have that eventually with his dad. He's in the G League now, getting some comfortability, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Because he had a 30-point game one game, he had another 23-point game this past week and stuff. So he's getting some comfort, you know what I'm saying? Which to me, his first few games playing with the Lakers, he wasn't comfortable at all. He looked like he was trying too hard, didn't know what to do. And now, you know, far as stat line, looks like he's kind of getting into like a nice little adult groove. And then the other third part where I think he's going to be a decent pro is his brother Bryce James, just now declared for Arizona. So his brother's going into college next year. So you got your younger brother, you know, who's 3 or 4 years younger than you, and he's going to have a chance to make it. And people saying it's better. Like, nah, he's going to have that extra chip on his shoulder. Like, my younger brother's not better than me. I taught my younger brother everything. You know, he's going to be having one of those brotherly competition that breeds friendly competition breeds better talent. So, you know, that's what I think. But you know, there's other people that just like, man, no, he's a rap. He's only in there because his dad's name and stuff. But he definitely is athletic. I can't say.
He better get a shoe contract quick. He better sign the first one. He better go for it.
We're hopeful for the future, but. Yeah, with that being said, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in on this episode. We are the top 1%. We'll see y'all on the next one. It's the top 1%.
Okay. Commanders for the Super Bowl. Okay. G, what about yourself? Commanders for the Eagles.
NFC.
Yep.
Who's going? What that is? National Food Court. Yeah, that okay.
National.
I gotta go with Philly cheese. You know what I'm saying? Philly cheese steak. Especially when you add jalapeno, good mayo on there. But that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you put that on a plate with the French fries. That's what I'll be going for right there. $10 wherever you go.
From the Mind of El Rico Studios. It's the top 1%.